So hello, and thanks for joining us today for some news about the NDP and end Prohibition. I'm Dana Larsen. This is Nicole Seguin.
Hello, everyone.
And we want to talk about the federal NDP Convention that just happened this last weekend in Vancouver. It was very exciting, and we have a lot of good news out of that. And why don't you start, Nicole, by just telling us a little bit about the work you did getting ready for this convention and some of the things we did getting our resolution out there and that kind of stuff.
Perfect. Yeah, exactly. Well, as Dana said, we did end up with success, but it definitely took some preparation and hard work to make our success possible. So we contacted riding association presidents across the country, asking them to support our resolution. And actually, we had crafted our resolution with input from now health critic Libby Davies. So we really owe a debt of thanks to her as well for phrasing a resolution that could be so widely accepted across across the country. So we crafted the resolution, and we actually had a lot of support from End Prohibition members such as yourself. So thanks everyone for going to your riding association meetings to discuss the resolutions, present our resolution, and argue in favor of it. We know of lots of riding associations that weren't going to endorse the resolution until members such as yourself took the time to go present the resolution with clear, concise arguments in favor and really sway a great number of NDP members into agreeing with us that this is a really important issue that we need to devote time and resources into speaking against.
Yeah, and I think maybe I should just explain a little bit like what happened and everything, and what we're talking about when we say we're working on a resolution. You know, the NDP, like every political party, they have a big gathering every couple of years. The NDP does it every 2 years, and this one was in Vancouver. And so delegates and NDP members come from all across the country, and they debate and discuss different policies and ideas that they want to put forward for the coming couple of years and what their priorities are going to be. And all kinds of things will get brought forward. There was probably like 300 or 400 resolutions, I'd say,
yes,
that were brought forward on different policies and all different kinds of topics. And so we put one together with Libby Davies' help, like Nicole said, that was about cannabis and about drug policy. And it had sort of two parts. One part about marijuana policy, then one part about drug policy in general. And it's not that the NDP is really lacking in their drug policy right now. Their current policy before the convention was to decriminalize marijuana and to treat drug use like a health issue more than like a criminal one. But it needs some more details and some sort of more depth to it, I think. They don't explain what decriminalization means. So we put something together talking about a more detailed marijuana policy, enshrining the rights of adults to grow and use their own, to buy it somewhere, that kind of thing. And so we distributed this to a number of different riding associations. We had a lot of success, people passing it. And when we got to the convention, it was in the book. It wasn't as high up as we'd hoped, but we were able, through some finagling and from some procedures in the session, we ended up taking the part on drug policy, attaching it to a thing on insight, and then getting that through. And the real question at the convention is what stuff you can get through, because there's so many items on the agenda. The vast majority of everyone agrees on them, but it's which ones are going to make it to the top and which ones are going to get prioritized. And we weren't able to get our insight drug policy resolution to the floor when it was supposed to. On the one day we ran out of time, but the next day we did an emergency motion, and we had, which I've never seen happen at over 20 conventions before.
It was really exciting.
It was stunning. I thought it wasn't going to work, but we said, well, we'll just give it a shot. And one of our friends, Rosalind, ended up bringing the motion to the floor. We ended up overruling the chair, suspending the rules, having a huge amount of success, and it was passed with about 99% unanimity, and there was thundering applause and standing ovations, and it was quite a powerful moment.
Absolutely. No, and we had MP Libby Davies speak to the resolution, which is now policy, as well as a new Quebec MP, Ms. Salah. So we really thank both of them for their incredible work and really inspiring the crowd to be so supportive of this.
And so that was just one of the positive things to come out of it, was that our group was able to pass a policy on this resolution, which calls for a drug policy that's based on non-punitive. It's based on non-criminalization and treating drug use like a health issue, like a social issue, and having some kind of regulated and controlled system. And so that's a really big advance. It's too bad we couldn't get the more clarification for the marijuana policy in there too, but really it was a huge victory for us to get this through. And it was really, like I said, the most amazing NDP convention I've been to. And I've been to a lot of these things at the provincial level all over the country. The last federal convention wasn't a very fun time for me, but this one was amazing. And part of it was that we have so many new members of parliament. You know, the NDP has gone from being a third player or a fourth player in the Canadian system to being an incredibly strong opposition with a lot of new MPs, especially from Quebec, many of whom are very young. All the ones that I met were highly intelligent, passionate about politics, and really young people with a lot of character. And I'm really excited to see how they do in the legislature and what kind of work they can do, and ultimately to see them form government in 4 years as well. But a lot of these people, of the MPs, especially the Quebec ones, but really all across the country, I think they're ready to tackle the issues around medical marijuana, around supervised injection sites, about taxing and regulating cannabis for adults. I think that this newer generation is more ready to deal with these issues, and I think that it's imperative for us as people, both as NDP members and as people out there who are watching this who might not be joined to the NDP but want to see some positive change in Canada. Now is the time to join the NDP and get involved.
Absolutely.
And the success that we had at this convention, the support we've built in our movement, the way things have gone for us, my leadership run went really well for me, and also I think for our movement too, to solidify our ties with the NDP. And so I think if you're waffling out there, if you're not sure how to make a difference in Canada, how to change these laws, get involved and join the NDP. And you can do that online very easily, ndp.ca/join. And the way the NDP works is that federally and provincially, it's all one team and one party, really. So when you sign up there, it'll ask you what province you're in. It's very easy. It costs anywhere from $2 to $20, depending what province you're in. But it helps you participate. It lets you come to conventions like this one. There'll most likely be a convention in your province over the next year, because almost every province is having one this year. And I'm going to try to be at as many of those as I can. And if I'm not personally there, perhaps Nicole or other End Prohibition members will be there. But we're really doing a revolution within the NDP, and the NDP is launching a revolution in Canada. And you know, we've had so many challenges in our movement over the 20 years I've been involved in this, and such great successes, but we've never had legislative change that was beneficial to us. All of our success has come out of court decisions and out of civil disobedience, creating pockets of tolerance so we can get away with ultimately breaking laws that are still on the books but just get ignored. And we need legislative change. We need a government in power that is sympathetic to our cause and to our movement, and that will help us to legalize marijuana, help us to allow medicinal marijuana to be more easily accessed by patients, and help us implement harm reduction and regulation and control and non-punitive drug policies. And the NDP will do that. You know, I'm not promising that Jack Layton will legalize marijuana on his first day as Prime Minister. It's not going to happen like that. But what would happen, I'm quite sure, is Libby Davies would be Minister of Health. We'd see a great deal of reception towards expanding the Insight program all across the country. We'd see a reception towards not constantly fighting in the courts against medical marijuana, but developing a system that respects dispensaries, that respects patients, and that respects communities as well. We'd see a much better program put in place. And if we lobbied and pushed against Jack Layton and against the NDP, we would also see them put in a position to legalize marijuana as well. So we could make these changes, and an NDP government is a big part of that. And the NDP is also on the right side on, you know, all the other issues of the day. I believe in the NDP. I don't agree with every word that comes out of Jack Layton's mouth, but certainly the NDP is the party that can change the direction of this country for the better, stop the corporate takeover, stop some of these foreign wars, change our drug policies for the better, respect human rights, help those that need help, all the positive things we want to see happen in our society. And so get involved and join the NDP. And you know, Nicole, I know you've had a lot of adventures since you joined the NDP. Why don't you tell us a little bit about some of the things you've been doing with the Young NDP and with your riding association and sort of some of those kind of things?
Yeah, exactly. Well, I just echo Dana's statement of please join the party. I've had an amazing time with the NDP. I've been involved with the BC Young New Democrats, and really it just introduces you to a bunch of like-minded people. I find NDP members to be really friendly, and I just have so much in common with them that it's an amazing social group, and it's also incredible political training. I have enjoyed all my time at the NDP. I'm involved provincially and federally on my local constituency and riding associations, and just the amount of energy and thought that's put into political strategy, political logistics, it really gives you a sense of what we can actually do as individuals to work together to have a huge impact on our communities, our provinces, our countries. It's actually really impressive, and it really encourages you to keep going. The NDP puts on lots of training events, socials, and it really just lets you talk with a bunch of people that share your views and will help you both as an individual, like improve yourself and learn more about the political process, and in turn you'll educate a large number of people that are already really sympathetic but just perhaps aren't as aware as we are of the plight of people in our community and the need for drastic or really just action on our issue, on medical marijuana, on harm reduction. These are really key issues that play into a lot of other NDP issues, such as poverty, civil rights, human rights. So really, yeah, it's great to get involved and learn so much. It's really a two-way street. We learn a lot from them. They can learn a lot from us. So yeah, please get involved.
Yeah, it's not that difficult to get involved in the NDP, like Nicole is saying. You just gotta be able to show up and be there and go to some meetings, and even just joining the party, and there's a lot of ways you can participate. But definitely put your money down, put your money where your mouth is. Get involved in the NDP, join the party. That is the way to stop Harper. That is the way to end the war on cannabis. That is the way to build a Canada that we can all be proud of, that we can all be happy with. And I've been in the NDP for a long time now. I've had a lot of successes in the party. They've been very welcoming to our movement. We've had challenges, but we've overcome those challenges. And our movement is now solidly entrenched with the NDP, and the NDP is on the verge of forming power in this country. In only 4 or 5 more years, we could see some amazing things happen in Canada. So thank you for watching today. Thanks, Nicole, for being here and for all the hard work you do. And definitely, stay in touch with us. Go to endprohibition.ca. You can email Nicole at endprohibition.ca. And don't forget to join the NDP. Do it right now. ndp.ca/join. Thanks for watching.
Thanks, everyone.